And we're back. Howdy y'all, this is Ethan Bonreal, back at it again with more Earthbound, and last time we were here, we made our way into the city of Fourside, where we promptly got lost. Lucky for us, we ran into the Runaway 5, and that's good because they have a habit of advancing the plot for us when we don't know what to do. So, in addition to that, we also talked about some of the nuances of gay nerds becoming friends with each other, and how, even though we're very eager to have gay friends, sometimes we don't know exactly what to do because we don't have the social skills, and that leads to some very wacky hijinks. Anyway, this time around we're gonna get wowed by a 16-bit cutscene and probably beat up some more local wildlife and maybe fight another taxi. We'll see how that goes. So let's go ahead and do it. So they are about to blow us away with peak SNES 16-bit cutscene power to the max. Have I got a bombshell for you tonight, kids? You can tell this is very exciting because they use 3 exclamation points instead of just the 1. Alright, oh man, I'm so hyped. You know, I always wondered if, like in the Earthbound community, if people like shipped the Runaway 5 together, like in a giant polyamorous relationship. Although I'm pretty sure they weren't, because that wasn't really on people's agenda in like the early 2000s internet. What they were more likely to do is just to ship 2 of them together and then make all the rest like really dramatic and hate each other, just for the drama of it, to highlight their relationship. Which is cute, but I mean I could see them all being together. I mean, they look like they're having a wonderful time. Look at them, they're kind of just jigging around in place. They know they're all close. But I don't know, that's just generally how male-male fanfiction tends to work. Although I guess that's probably because a lot of it is written by women. Although I guess that's not necessarily true. Like I've said before, when I did shipping, I was very particular about my gay ships. I would not put people together unless I believed they had chemistry. And I was actually, in a lot of cases, more likely to ship women together or have straight pairings that I liked. Maybe because it just was too real, and that was basically me admitting I was a big ol' homo to be shipping men together. But part of it is just because I would like headcanon people as gay, but I would just never put them together with other people, and I think that says a lot about me as a person, because it's like, I can see people being gay, but I don't see, like, a relationship as being part of their, as part of their story, which, is basically my life story, really, is that I've known I'm gay for a while, but I've had trouble deciding if I'm ever gonna really be with anyone, but we'll see how things turn out. I'm still quasi-optimistic. I'm trying not to be a weenie and just say I'll never be with no one, because no one ever wants me, but we'll see how things turn out. Statistically, I should end up with someone eventually, right? But anyway, there's the taxi I promised we would end up fighting. Man, that enemy is like really fucking freaky. Like when you first run into those and you just have that giant ass taxi sprite just gunning for you, it's kind of spooky. I guess we'll take a break in the hotel here. We also really need to get some money, so let's take some money out here. There's a joke in the Earthbound community that the reason why you get money from your dad is basically that he's renting you out as bounty hunters, and with every like animal and taxi you beat the shit out of, you're basically like getting the bounty reward sent to your bank account. Working through the night, Jeff fixed the broken spray can. After being fixed, the broken spray can became the difference spray. Difference? Let's go with that. Let's just call it difference now. The difference spray. So, let's see what you have to say. Good morning. This is a unique service exclusive only to our hotel. I'm here to read you today's headline. On the front page of the Fourside Post, over 70% of Fourside citizens support Monotoli. So, Monotoli is clearly a bad dude, but we're not going to deal with him quite yet. We actually need to roll on out of Fourside, which the game does not do a good job of explaining that to you. You really have to talk to the NPCs, which I guess it does mean the game does a good job of explaining it. It's just, oh, we can't stand in the street. The game does do a good job of explaining. You just have to actually talk to NPCs, which, as I've mentioned 1,000 times, that is the bane of many 12 and 13-year-olds who just refuse to believe in reading in RPGs. But it worked out for me, because I did a lot of exploring when I was playing Earthbound. Anyway, how are y'all doing today? I am doing just fine. It's 10:24 a.m. My sleep schedule's reset. I'm feeling just fresh as a daisy, very gay, very powerful. I'm at my peak gay power. The sun is in just the right spot in the sky, almost just above my window, so it's not glaring into me, but I am getting some nice healthy rays of sunshine to empower me. Oh man. So, you know, I actually made notes for this video, and they're really sentimental. I was getting, like, really emotional yesterday because I had stayed up so long. I do not want to go to Tucson. I do want to get off here. There we go. Alright, peace out, nerd. We should also probably get Jeff some stuff. Let me see. Our inventory is not too full. We really need to start selling... Actually, let's go to the store and sell some stuff. That'll be a fun diversion while I keep talking. Oh, excuse me, I burped a little bit. That wasn't very ladylike of me. But, anyway, I was making some really fucking dramatic-ass notes. Do you ever have, like, a time where you're, like, staying up till, like, 3 a.m., and then you're like, oh my god, I'm really fucking gay and single, I need to... I need to just do something for the drama of it, and so you just start listening to music and imagining choreography and just going through, like, a very emotional time in your head, and that's basically what I was doing. We don't really need this defense spray. We have 2 of them, so let's sell that. We're getting pretty stacked. We got a lot of money here. And nothing here. Oh, shit, I forgot. I didn't even buy that for Paula. That's embarrassing. She really needs that upgrade. There we go. That's a reasonable damage upgrade for her. But we don't really auto-attack with Paula that often. Also, we're gonna get Nest that Coin of Slumber. I can't believe I did not get this initially. That was really still... Oh, shit. I didn't equip it. That's the problem. I've had it this whole time, haven't I? Oh, no, I haven't. So let me move... Oh, it's because my inventory was full. I'm silly. So let's give this to Ness. Oh, but first, we need to give this bomb to Jeff, because he's actually the one who should be using these. He uses those kind of items. And then we are going to also give Jeff the big bottle rocket, which he should have had this whole time. And now we are going to give Ness his Coin of Slumber. Inventory management in this game is like almost, as I always say, as bad as Paper Mario, where you just start dying to have inventory space, but also it has an extra layer of annoyingness because you have to manually hand each character items before they can interact with it. Like when Paula died, I had to like pull her Phoenix down out of her dead body and then give it to Ness and then shove it down her throat so she could be alive again, which was very annoying. But you know, it worked out. I mean, it's cute, I guess. It makes sense. It's logical. It's just not convenient. Anyway, but I was being real gay and dramatic, and just imagining choreography in my head to, like, music videos and being like, oh my god, I'm just really feeling it. What I was thinking about, because I saw some people that I've grown close to kind of having a rough time, and being self-depreciative and all that stuff. And something, personally, I try to avoid is being self-depreciating, just because there is a big hole here now. Huh, interesting. Do we have any wet towels left? We don't. Let's go ahead and buy some. It's something that I had to really learn how to do, because something that a lot of us learn to do, from my experience, a lot of us homosexuals, and then people in general, but gays seem to be particularly notorious for this, in my friend circle at least, well, nerdy gays at least, is just apologizing all the time and making excuses to justify that we are not able to do things that other people do. So, like, I guess a good way of summarizing this is that we tend to surrender pieces of ourselves as an offering to excuse us for being big ol' homos, basically. Like, when I just make minor social faux pas, I just get, like, really dejected sometimes, and I'm like, oh my god, why did I do that thing when I was, like, fucking 5 in kindergarten? Like, I guess my life is over, now that I remembered this, and I beat myself up over it. And I think, man, I should have apologized for being so awkward. And that's another thing. Really, what a lot of it is just apologizing for being awkward or not really being what other people think you should be. But as a grown-ass adult, I now know that that's pointless because people aren't really concerned with how you feel so much as how much they want you to make them feel. I should probably explain why we're down in this hole. So the dudes who were mining here basically excavated a mine, and they found out that there are 5 gigantic, evil, demonic moles up in this hole. And so we are in this hole, killing all these moles in order to get the gold that is in this mine, which is handy for us because we need money to free the Runaway 5 so that they can advance the plot for us. Oh shit. So we see these ducks again, and they actually are so distracting that it makes it so that you have trouble concentrating your psychic powers because you have to have good mental focus to use them. And they're so distracting that it makes you lose your concentration, and you either lose PP or you actually just can't use your psychic powers, which is pretty funny to me. Anyway, so the first mole is going to be right up here. A good way to remember to go through this mine is you need to go up, down, turn around, up, down, up, up. That is how I remember how to get through here, because this mine is a pretty sprawling area. And the enemies can actually be a little bit vicious in here, honestly. Like, a lot of them can poison you, and they also take more than 1 hit to kill, which is, or more than 1 round to kill, rather, which is a lot in Earthbound, because you're going to get to a point where you just instantly kill most enemies. But we're going to go ahead and heal Paula real quick. Let's see, actually we're going to heal everyone, because we're all taking a little bit of a licking here. But like I was saying, you know, if you're gay and you apologize for everything you do, like when you're out in public, like just being too slow or not understanding something instantly, like fucking smash that like button, because like that is so, that's really, I'm learning that that's like basically gay solidarity. Like that's just something a lot of us do. Or alternatively, we just avoid social situations so that we can't disappoint people or be awkward in them. And again, this, like, I know this isn't, like, only a gay thing, but it's just something that's, like, real relatable, because it's, like, I basically learned to do this, because, I was really, well, not only awkward, but I just wasn't very successfully masculine as a youngster, as a young homo, as a youngling, and I basically was apologizing for not being masculine enough a lot. Like, I remember my dad signing me up for sports and me just being like, I'm sorry, I'm not good at this, I'm just, like, really gay, and just being, like, sad because I couldn't really be what other people wanted, or just being, like, really anxious in some situations and not being able to, like, perform to society's standards and being like, I'm sorry, I'm gay and anxious, I can't really deal with a lot of pressure, my friends. But now I'm a lot different. Like I said, I don't really apologize that often for things like that. Unless it's with someone like I really, really care about, in which case I tend to actually apologize a lot. I still need to work on that. And apologize for nothing at that. But on top of that, up, down. Okay, we need to go downwards after we kill the snake. Up, down, turn around, up, down, up, up. Alright, there we go. I was a little afraid we were going to get lost in here again. Also, I guess I should probably cut the video pretty soon. I'll say at 18 minutes I'll cut the video. I said I want to keep them at 15, but, you know, I feel like I'm on a pretty good commentary streak right here. Alright, there we go. Jeff is now level 30. I forgot, did Paula ding 20 or level 30 herself? Or was that Ness? That was Paula. So I'm pretty sure she knows... No, she does not know PSI Freeze Gamma. I think at 31 she learns PSI Freeze Gamma, which will one-shot the moles usually. Oh, also we need to heal Jeff's poison. So Ness finally has enough psychic points to actually regularly be healing people, which is good for us, but it is going to still drain our PP resources a good bit. Can you fuck off, you snake? I also have some more really dramatic notes here. I don't know if I should I read them? I'm just gonna like blatantly read them. So usually I just take bullet points, but like here I just have like a whole fucking paragraph written out, and it's like, I don't know I don't remember what fucking song I was listening to Lemonade. I was listening to Lemonade when I wrote this. Oh my god. I'm such a dweeb. I was listening to Lemonade, and I have this whole dramatic ass paragraph written out. I don't know if I'll read it now. But I'll paraphrase it. Basically, I was talking about this guy that I had met, I think when I was a sophomore in college during my undergraduate degree program. And I'm basically, in this paragraph, talking about some of the nuances of, like, still dealing with insecurity, and that carrying over into your relationships or your friendships with other people, especially when you're interacting with other gay people. So, I don't know if I should just read it. Okay, I'm gonna read it, and y'all can't laugh, okay? So I wrote, sometimes I think about how I put my life on hold for a man who, like, ultimately thought that my failure to be what he wanted was an unforgivable mistake, and how he basically abandoned me for not being what he wanted, and my punishment for that, which was unforgivable, was basically showing me my replacement. So what I'm referencing there is that I got with this dude. He had been pursuing me for a little bit, and I was completely oblivious about it because, again, if you can relate to this, smash that like button. Basically, I was like, I had this in my mind that, like, you know, no one really wants me, like, I'm not particularly attractive, and so, like, anytime people do show actual attraction to me, I just kind of brush it off and don't realize it or don't recognize it. But then now I look back and I'm like, holy shit, that fucker was flirting with me. And so that's what happened. This dude basically was, like, just, like, hanging around me for, like, a month straight, and just, like, always, like, saying hi and, like, trying to, like, make excuses to be around me. And I was like, why the fuck are you doing this? Like, that's so weird, XD. And then it hit me, like, literally one day, I was like, holy shit, he is attracted to me, and I just could not believe that. But that's what happened. And so we went on a few dates, and we got to know each other a little bit. Well, actually, we didn't even really go on dates. We didn't really go on dates. We hung out, and then I sucked his dick. his dick, basically. But, well, we put each other's genitals in our mouths, but in my little gay mind, because I just hadn't had that much attention, and I had been primed to think that sexual attention was like romantic attention, I was basically, I fell in love with him a little bit. And what ended up happening was that he basically saw that I was human, and that I was not perfect, and I was a little bit gay and emotional, and also that he didn't really like my sense of humor, that's usually what decides if people like me or not in person. If you think I'm funny, like, we'll get along really well. But if you don't, I'm just annoying, which is, you know, it's sad but true. I'm unbothered by that, honestly. I've just accepted that I can't be everyone's cup of tea, and that's my growth as a person. But basically, he just discovered that I was not the idea of what he thought I should be in his head. So he had this idea that I was Basically gonna be his cute little black, oh, I almost said the N-word, his black little Negroid slave, and just do whatever he wanted and be cute and, you know, say cute black people things whenever he wanted, but I'm not, I'm just a depressed faggot, so that didn't work out. And he basically promptly started seeing someone else without telling me, and then introduced me to that person. Well, actually, that's not true. He did that to one of my other friends, though. I have a long history with this person now. But basically, I texted him one morning, and he was like, oh, I'm hanging out with blankety blank, and I was like, oh, who's that? And he's like, the guy I'm dating, and I was like, oh, I thought we were together, and he was like, nah. And he just kind of showed me my replacement, basically, someone who more perfectly ticked off his boxes. So we're in an unfortunate situation. Jeff is kind of not alive here. And we are running low on supplies, but we do have a PSI caramel, and we are going to use the cup of life noodles, because we do have one of those, and that's very handy for us. And then we are going to use Nessa's remaining PP to heal Paula back to full life, because she is a little bit low. There we go. But that's what I was talking about. Basically, you know, I wasn't perfect, and so he was like, okay, I'll show you, you little fucker. I'll show you someone who is basically perfect for me, and you could have been with me, but you failed to be what I wanted to be, so here's your punishment. You get to see someone who actually does what I want. And that made me a very, very, very sad little homosexual. But it also helped me grow, for better or worse. It was a step on my path towards appreciating myself more. And I didn't actually... So at that point in time, I didn't, like, hate myself or anything. But I didn't necessarily feel good about my prospects for the future. Like, I just wasn't feeling like, you know, being cared for or loved would be something that was in my foreseeable future, and part of that was just me being dramatic, because now I realize, again, someone out there will love me eventually. It might just take a while, but someone will. You know, but I didn't believe that at that point in time, which is the important thing. I didn't feel that way, so things progressed from that point. And that was actually only like the first 2 or 3 sentences of that. So the rest I wrote was, so he provided me a cruel punishment to remind me what I couldn't manage to be. So neither a person deserving of love or respect, I had become a reminder of his own failure, and I paid the price. So this is like not only is this ultra gay dramatic, but there's a reason I'm saying this. It's not just for the drama of it. Basically, what I'm talking about here is something I've noticed with a lot of guys, both that I've been with sexually and romantically, but also just seen in my friends, is that when their romantic partners don't... A lot of us look for people to be with that make us feel better about ourselves. And what I mean by that is that sometimes we have self-esteem problems that we don't know how to deal with, and we think the best way to deal with it is to be, like, in a romantic relationship with someone. And when we learn that other people are human, basically, and that they can't solve these problems for us, we get a little bit mad, and so we get mad that that person isn't perfect. So a good example of that is that, like, sometimes what will happen is people that I know have gotten together, and then they'll realize that, wait a minute, this person isn't as masculine as I wanted them to be. And the reason they get mad about that isn't because they necessarily hate femininity, but they feel that being with someone who is masculine will make them look better and feel better about themselves. And they end up being very disappointed by that, because they didn't get what they wanted. They went for something, and they got with this person, but they're not getting what they wanted out of it, and so they take it very personally. which is, it's sad, it is very sad, but likewise, this guy, he wanted to be with a certain image of a person, and he projected that image on me, but I wasn't that person, and so he got mad at me, basically. And my punishment was to show me, again, another person who was, in his mind, more perfect, or a better fit for him, as a way to show me, you know, I put a lot of time into you, why can't you just be what I want you to be? Which is sad. So, the theme with these moles, breaking off of that kind of sad conversation, is that all of them are saying they are the third strongest mole, or pretending they are the most average mole, when in fact they all are exactly the same amount of strength. And that is, I actually had a whole other discussion lined up for this. Basically, I was going to talk about how, like, incidentally, this relates to the Green Queen. So, there's this brand of guys that I have encountered who basically are, like, all about guys who are, like, really average, in air quotes. And their whole deal with that, in my opinion, is that they are just afraid of being with people they deem as hot because they're intimidated by it. And so they constantly say they're just interested in average guys, but they don't realize that's a little bit mean. Also, I might accidentally kill Jeff. Okay, good, I did not accidentally kill Jeff. We're gonna defend and let Paula suck out some more PSI for now. And once she has enough PSI to one-shot this mole, we are going to do that. Because the moles actually deflect physical attacks, which is why I've been primarily using Paula for this. Also, yeah, let's do that. Unfortunate for Ness, he actually does not have the ability to restore his own PP like Paula does. And I'm praying she does not get attacked this turn, because she is getting pretty low on HP. Ah, damn it, didn't work. Please don't kill Paula. Okay, well, you killed Jeff. We're going to defend again, and then pray that Paula one-shots this thing with that. She should, though. Oh man, she's getting pretty low. There we go, you're not alive. Good for you. Thumbs up. But basically, they don't realize how mean it is to say, you know, I'm only attracted to you because you're fucking average. Like, I'm attracted to you because you're basically like a 5 and I'm afraid of 10s. Like, that is so fucking mean. I really wish people would realize that that is not a nice thing to do. Okay, so we're gonna actually probably cut the video here, because it is almost 30 minutes and I lied and said I would stop at 18 minutes. And also this will give me an excuse to res Paula and Jeff off camera, because again, this area is pretty hard. But I feel like this was very good commentary this episode, and I don't know, it just flowed really well. You know, I might post this on Reddit or something. I joined the gamer Reddit, and I don't know, I've never really been that big on using Reddit. I've had an account for a while, I just mostly lurk, but we'll see how things go. I'll decide if I want to post it on there or not. Anyway, I want to thank y'all for watching, have a good one, and goodbye.